Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about pedagogical principles of scaffolding, theoretical background and practical implementation of this method on a chosen preschool. Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Evelyn and I'm a student here in OUM Learning Center here in Green Hill. The first thing I'm going to talk about is topic introduction, which cover 3 areas, and they are the purpose of my presentation, the setting objective, and what is scaffolding. Firstly, the purpose of my presentation is to talk about the implementation of scaffolding in children's learning within the classroom setting of a preschool learners. And the assignment, I have used 2 methods. The first method is on research on theory background of scaffolding, and the second method is data collection from qualitative research from the chosen preschool, and I have chosen observation. Next, after identifying my purpose, I have identified 3 objectives. Objective number one is to deepen the students' knowledge of pedagogical principles of scaffolding, followed by objective number 2, which is to examine and justify the theory background of scaffolding. In order for me to come up with objective number 3, objective 1 and objective 2 help me to identify objective number 3, which is to demonstrate how scaffolding method is actually done in preschool. Next, what is scaffolding? Scaffolding is first coined by Mr. Jerome Berner on what is scaffolding about based on Vygotsky's concept of ZPD. Scaffolding is actually a step-by-step process used by teachers to help students or children to complete a task with support. However, it is important to remember that this support is temporary and it needs to be removed once the support becomes unnecessary or when the children is able to do a task independently. Next, after identifying what is scaffolding, I'm going to talk to you about Vygotsky's principles of scaffolding and zone of proximal development. As you can see here based on the diagram, now in the middle the blue circle represents what the children can do independently on their own. For example, children are able to identify and write letters A to Z on their own. Followed by the second circle, the grey area represents children's ZPD, which means that children are able to complete a task with the support of the teachers through scaffolding. For example, children are able to write simple words with the support of teachers using flashcards. And finally, the last circle represents the white area, meaning that children are not able to complete a task even with the support given. For example, writing short essays. Next, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of scaffolding in children's learning, which I covered on 3 areas. They are critical thinking, literacy, and collaborative learning. In terms of critical thinking, scaffolding enables to help teachers to organize their learning strategy and also impacts the design of their hot tasks for children. Scaffolding also helps children to solve problems on their own, as well as to stimulate greater response from children. For example, teachers are able to support and scaffold children in order for them to complete a science experiment, which they are not able to do on their own. Next, on literacy, scaffolding enables to help children to absorb new information and vocabulary, as well as to foster conversations within the group, as well as between teachers and children. Scaffolding also helps broadening children's language skills, as well as makes reading accessible for younger children. For example, in terms of using graded reading storybooks, teachers are able to help children to develop their reading skills from weaker to medium to intermediate level. Next, in terms of collaborative learning, scaffolding enables to help promote co-learning between children in the classroom, as well as increases peer interaction and cooperation. In addition, scaffolding also encourages modeling appropriate behaviors. For example, weaker children able to copy or model older peers' behavior to complete a task. Next, I'm going to talk to you about strategies that can be used in the classroom to scaffold children. I have chosen 3 strategies, which are modeling, check for understanding through asking questions, and the last is making suggestions by incorporating visual aids. Firstly, in terms of modeling, naturally, children learn visually. Teachers are able to demonstrate expected behaviors for young children to see or model solutions for children to observe, which allows children to visualize how a process actually works from the beginning to an end. For example, in terms of physical education, teachers are able to go to the field with the children to show how to complete an obstacle task from start to finish, and children are able to copy the teacher's actions. Next, in terms of asking questions, it is important for teachers to check children's understanding with learning new concepts or skills by creating interactive sessions in the classroom using open-ended questions, such as, what did you do during the holidays? What is your favorite food? Which is able to stimulate children's critical thinking skills. It is also important for teachers to bear in mind that children with difficulty, they need to provide multiple answers for children to choose from, which helps to support children to come up with the correct response on their own. Next, in terms of making suggestions by incorporating visual aids, teachers can give suggestions on how to use materials to complete the given task by incorporating visual aids such as pictures, charts, flashcards, and graphic organizers. Especially on graphic organizers is very important because in terms of mathematics and science, using graphic organizers is able to help teachers to support children to think about concepts such as sequencing, causes, and effects. Next, I'm going to share with you about my report on school visit. Okay, the first thing that I have focused upon is my flow of data collection as well as on my observation protocol. The first thing that I did was I was able to obtain the verbal permission and consent from the principal of Maraville Good Shepherd Kindergarten, followed by step number 2, which I have used, is to gather information from the teachers and the children to create and to generate my own hypothesis about what is going to happen in the classroom. Followed by step number 3, which is I prepared my observation template or checklist, which would be easy for me when I will use it for my observation session. Followed by the last step, which is step 4, which is I schedule my observation session with the teacher for my observation. Okay, there are 2 techniques that I found in Maraville Kindergarten. Number 1 is modeling technique, which I found that teachers scaffolds modeling or demonstrating to children examples of what they will be learning. For example, the teacher demonstrates how to make fruit salad from start to finish during English lessons. As they were doing the modeling, the teacher also verbalizes her thoughts loudly for children to hear as she continues with the demonstration. For example, how am I supposed to mix the fruits together? From there, from the picture here, I am able to find out that children can understand what behaviors are expected from them, as well as the children are able to model what their teacher's inner dialogue is during the demonstration. After modeling, asking questions also appear in Maraville Good Shepherd Kindergarten and is frequently used in the classroom by the teacher. Besides open-ended questions and multiple answers, other methods such as scaffolded dialogue is also used in the classroom. For example, this helps children from slowly progressing from collaborative learning towards independent dialogue. For example, in terms of collaborative learning, the children is starting to talk from, in our talk, we were thinking of using red and green color pencil to color the apples. From collaborative learning, they slowly progress to independent dialogue, which is, I am starting to think that maybe I'm going to color the picture of the apple first before I color the tree. So from my findings and from the picture shown, that I found that children are engaged to talk freely when questions are being asked, as long as it stimulates children and extend their critical thinking when they are responding to their teachers. It is also important for teachers and children to receive feedback for further improvement. Post-observation, there are two results I found from my observation, which is, number one, 3 children out of 18 children are not able to complete the task. The teacher has decided to use additional intervention of scaffolding to support the children. For example, like using mini lessons and breaking down them into smaller concepts for weaker children. And my result number 2 is teaching opportunity arises from the additional intervention in the classroom. Finally, on reflection of my school visit, number 1, scaffolding method really does work for children in Maraville Good Shepherd Kindergarten, as they are able to respond positively to the lesson taught, however, still with minimum support. And my reflection number 2 is teachers are able to stay focused on their goal of teaching as well as their objective for lessons and activities. Before I end, I would like to thank all the people who helped me with the assignment, including the management, the teachers, and the children of Maraville Good Shepherd Kindergarten. Thank you.